Let's now understand the third specific situation requiring a different way of doing the evaluation, and that is valuation of small and medium enterprise. Small and medium enterprise. So first of all, let us understand technically as to how the MSMEs are defined, and MSMEs are uh, defined based on the investment and based on the turnover as per the notification issued by the government of India. So, how the definition of MSME happens? So, any company where the investment in the assets, and remember when we say assets, it only means the plant and machinery. So when the investment in an enterprise is less than 1 crore and its turnover is less than 5 crore, so remember both these parameters have to meet. यानी कि एक कंपनी का जो इन्वेस्टमेंट है प्लांट एंड मशीनरी में वो 1 करोड़ से कम है और उसका जो टर्नओवर है वो 5 करोड़ से कम है. दैट मीन्स दिस एंटरप्राइज इज क्लासिफाइड as per the government of India definition of MSME enterprises. It is classified as a micro enterprise. Micro enterprise. Number two, when the investment is more than 1 crore and less than 10 crore. So when the investment is more than 1 crore but less than 10 crore and the turnover is more than 5 crore but less than 50 crore, then it is defined as small enterprise. That means what? That means यानी कि एक कंपनी जिसका प्लांट एंड मशीनरी में जो इन्वेस्टमेंट है वो 10 करोड़ से कम है और उसका टर्नओवर 50 करोड़ से कम है, इसका मतलब ये एंटरप्राइज इट इज डिफाइंड एज स्मॉल एंटरप्राइज. स्मॉल एंटरप्राइज. And when investment in the plant and machinery is less than 50 crore and the turnover of the company is less than 250 crore, in that case this enterprise is defined as the medium enterprise. Since we are talking about valuation of SME enterprises, therefore it is necessary for every one of us to understand as to how these enterprises are defined. So just to refresh you, micro enterprise is one where the investment in plant and machinery is less than 1 crore and turnover of the company is less than 5 crore. It is known as micro enterprise. When the investment in the plant and machinery is less than 10 crore and the turnover is less than 50 crore, it is defined as small enterprise. And when the investment in plant and machinery is less than 50 crore and the turnover of the company is less than 250 crores, then this enterprise is known as medium enterprise. Medium enterprise. Okay. Now, what are the peculiarities in case of small and medium enterprises? So, number one is not much information available about MSMEs in public domain, because ये सारी की सारी जो MSMEs होती हैं आपने नोट किया होगा, या तो वो प्रोप्राइटरी बिजनेस है या वो पार्टनरशिप बिजनेस है या फिर वो LLP बिजनेस है और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा हो गया तो वो एक प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी है. और ये चारों जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है बिजनेस के, इनमें पब्लिक डोमेन में इन बिजनेसेस की इंफॉर्मेशन अवेलेबल नहीं होती है. सो वन पिक्युलरिटी इज अबाउट द SMEs is that not much information is available about them in the public domain, and therefore to find information about them for the purpose of valuation is a challenge. Number two, many of the MSMEs, as I said earlier, are proprietorship or partnership firms, and therefore to do the valuation of a proprietorship firm or a partnership firm, that becomes a challenge by itself. And number three is only sketchy information available about the comparables in the public domain. और दूसरा ये है कि अगर आप मार्केट अप्रोच को यूज़ करके किसी SME का अगर आप वैल्यूएशन करना चाहें तो उसकी जो कंपेरेबल कंपनी है वो ढूंढना भी आपके लिए बहुत मुश्किल होगा. क्यों ढूंढना मुश्किल होगा? क्योंकि एक तो पहले ही अनऑर्गेनाइज कंपनीज हैं, अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड हैं, उनकी इन्फॉर्मेशन अवेलेबल नहीं है. और दूसरा टू फाइंड आउट कि जिस कंपनी का आपको वैल्यूएशन करना है उसकी जैसी दूसरी कंपनी कोई अवेलेबल है क्या, क्योंकि ये इन्फॉर्मेशन पब्लिक डोमेन में अवेलेबल नहीं है तो आपको वो इन्फॉर्मेशन मिलने में बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज होगा, बहुत बड़ी डिफ़िकल्टी होगी. एंड सो दीज आर दी थ्री peculiarities in case of valuation for or valuation of a small and medium enterprise. So how to do the valuation? Now, before we do the valuation, let us look at some more peculiarities in the context of a small and medium enterprise, and that is there is no distinction between the ownership and entrepreneur. So वही मालिक है और वही मैनेजर है, and that is number one. Number two, no separation between personal capital and corporate capital. Number three, mismatch in debt and equity, either over reliance on debt और फुल रिलायंस ऑन एक्विटी. तो आपने देखा होगा कि जितने भी जो छोटे छोटे बिजनेसेस होते हैं, एमएसएमईज होते हैं, तो या तो वो बहुत ज़्यादा ओवर लेवरेजिंग करते हैं और या फिर वो पूरी तरह से एक्विटी के ऊपर डिपेंड रहते हैं, which in my view is not a good sign, because some amount if the economy is doing well, if your company is doing well, it is always good to borrow, because when economy is doing well, industry is doing well, your company is doing well, and if you borrow in such situations, you are able to give better returns to the owners of the company. Shares are not traded publicly, so that information is not available. Management planning and control systems not developed in a small company or a small partnership or proprietary concern. Accounting information also not usually available. So we all understand it by experience that with these small businesses, accounting is never a area of concern or of priority. So in more often than not, in case of MSMEs, you will see accounting is done only at the end of the year when the returns are to be filed and not otherwise. So that is another peculiarity of a MSME enterprise. What are the distinct advantages of certain SMEs? Number one, business growth factor is positive. Ease of doing business is definitely there because there are no structure hierarchies for decision making. Number three, customer environment, customer friendly environment, because जो कंपनी का मालिक वो समझता है कि his existence is dependent on the customer, and therefore there is a good attention given to the customer. Business competitive advantage, skillful and knowledgeable, high moral staff, efficient management team, quick decision making ability. So these are the advantages of some of the SMEs that we have in this country. Now, how do we do the evaluation of a small and medium enterprise? Number one is use the income approach, and within the income approach, you can use the income capitalization or profit earning capability valuation. So you can use the first method, and that is income capitalization method, which is also known as profit earning capability valuation. Number two, you can use the discounted cash flow in case of MSME for sure. Remember, again, someone can give an excuse that in case of MSME, accounting information is not available. Then how do you get the information for the purpose of finding out value of the enterprise through the discounted cash flow? Please remember, accounting information is not available is only an excuse, and that excuse is not to be resorted to. That excuse should not be taken as a reason to not use the discounted cash flow. As a matter of fact, accounting information is not available. This is a drawback. This is a setback. This is a weakness, and this weakness has to be removed. And for achieving discounted cash flow itself, valuation based on the discounted cash flow itself, for that itself, the SME should immediately start maintaining the accounts, and they should be able to prepare the projected cash flow as well. So that is number one, and valuation of SME enterprise through the process of income approach. Number two, you can use the market approach. Of course, remember, using market approach for an SME enterprise is not going to be as simple as that, and that is because the comparable company are not number one comparable company are not easily available, and number two, even if you know some company which can be considered to be comparable, the information is always considered by the small owners as confidential, so they never would share these informations. And so this is what is the challenge with regard to valuation of income approach, and for valuation of SME enterprise using the market approach. Cost approach is can be used in case of SME enterprise, but remember that is only if the valuation is to be done assuming that the business is going for liquidation. Otherwise, SME being a profitable company, running company, and therefore a cost approach will not really make a sense. So the conclusion is, as regards to the valuation of SME enterprise, it should be done based on discounted cash flow, or at the most based on the income capitalization method, or at the most based on the suitable weightages to the discounted cash flow method and income capitalization method, and find out the weighted value of these two methods.